Thank you everyone. Hello, I'm Dr. Heidegger, your favorite TV doctor, and today on my show we're going to help out 3 people. We're going to help out 2 princes and 1 just really rich guy. Our first guest tonight, until recently, was a student at the University of Wittenberg, but when his father died, his whole life got turned upside down. Please welcome to the stage my first guest tonight, Hamlet, Prince of Denmark. Welcome, Prince Hamlet.
Thank you, Doctor. Your invitation is much appreciated.
Pleasure is all mine, Prince. Now, it is my understanding that the situation in your house right now, it isn't exactly uncomplicated.
Tis no secret here. The kingdom is disarrayed and her king is slain. And what's worse is that the perpetrator is upon the throne.
Are you saying that your father was slain?
Aye. And let me tell you how it began. I was away in Wittenberg, studying toward a degree in political science, when the message of my father's death came. I immediately removed myself back to Castle Elsinore to take care of my mother and all the funeral proceedings.
However, as I arrived, I was met with a repulsive surprise. Rather than mourning the death of her king, my mother found herself occupied with his brother, my uncle Claudius. I can surely say that I was furiously livid.
Hello, darkness, my old friend.
Even after the funeral, I remained in my blackwear for weeks. My father and king had not been properly honored, yet I was chastised for my dutiful mourning in the presence of such incestuous merriment.
Left its seeds while I was sleeping.
And through his gross intertwinement with my queen, my uncle has removed me from the proper heritage. I saw from its start that my king's undertaking was in the trail of the serpent. All became clear, yet infinitely more muddled, when my father, clad in his glorious battlement, approached me on that wretched night.
Oh, my son, the hour has come in which I shall return to the horrible flames of purgatory.
What has transpired, my king, to cast you so low into that unearthly fire?
Pity me not, my son, and draw thy ear close. 'Tis the belief of the kingdom that a terrible serpent has stung me in my sleep. And it is true that your uncle has been the serpent that poisoned my own ear.
My uncle! What murder! What bestial sin has transgressed in these past days?
Indeed, that rat, that snake, that son of a...
Although my father's apparition was quite apparent, doubt still had its place in my mind. I resolved to coerce my uncle into exposing himself before I sought any irreversible action. I feigned madness that I might attain some expository reaction, although my efforts were fruitless. To ensure that my suspicions had substance, I had devised a trap. An excellent traveling theatre troupe had made residence in Elsinore, so I sought to employ their talents.
Oh my god, it's hot.
In an altered version of The Mousetrap, those great actors showed us the very murder of my father. At the climax of the act, Claudius could not be helped but to find leave to his chambers. The accusation was concrete.
It was him.
His death became my mission. However, I found hesitation in my action when I found the fiend praying to our Lord Christ for guidance in such troubling times.
In a frenzy, I sought the console of my mother, although in doing so I unsheathed my blade into a yellow advisor.
Is that a mouse? I can sleep.
The scene caused the loss of my mother's sympathies, and I fear I was found out for the murder. For later I was removed by mine own uncle to England, and my travels with Rosencrantz and Guildenstern proved folly. And praise be to God that a band of scallywags found it within themselves to release me. I haven't yet returned home, but when I do, my mission shall resume.
I really think you need some serious help. First of all, you definitely need to go see a therapist for your grief issues, dealing with the death of your father. I know it's tough, but I don't think you're dealing with it in the right way. You even stabbed someone on accident. This is all in your head, Hamlet. I mean, you're seeing ghosts and all this, and I strongly recommend you get help with this.
No, I must avenge my father.
Hamlet, your father was an old man. He probably just died of old age or natural causes or whatever. No one's immortal. Age gets to everyone. Well, actually, Hamlet, would you like a drink? You look a little thirsty right now.
Might I inquire what drink this is?
Well, it's nothing other than water from the Fountain of Youth over in Florida. Salty.
Unbelievable. Immortality. No, life is terrible. This is terrible. This is egregious.
Wait, no, Hamlet, come back. You need help. Well, that didn't go as planned, but hopefully our next guest is better. For our next guest on the show, we have this wonderful, amazing, eccentric, high-class man from London, Dorian Gray. Welcome to the show, Mr. Gray.
It's one of the few I haven't attended. You know, I was recently on the late night show with that charming lad, Lord Fallon. Now that was wonderful.
Well, Dorian, let's talk a little more about your situation.
Yes. Now where do I begin? I guess it all started that one time my friend, former friend, Basil Howard, invited me to his house to model for a portrait. Upon arriving at Basil's residence, I was met by Lord Henry Wotton, a man that truly changed my outlook on life. We had a conversation where Henry opened my eyes to the true noble pursuit of life and pursuit of beauty.
See, pleasure is the only thing worth having a theory about. But I'm afraid that this theory belongs to Mother Nature and not to me. Pleasure is nature's test, her sign of approval.
What do you mean by this, Lord Henry?
Well, young Dorian, when we are happy, we are always good. But when we are good, we are not always happy.
From that moment forward, I vowed my life would have only one purpose, and that would be the pursuit of pleasure and beauty, and the complete avoidance of anything else. For some odd reason, Basil thought that Henry would have a negative influence on me, but he's just a good guy. Henry and I continued chatting about his ideals and perspectives on life and beauty while Basil painted my portrait. I never truly realized how beautiful I was until Lord Henry mentioned just how perfect I appeared in the finished portrait. I even found love, Doctor. The most beautiful actress, Sybil Vane was her name. While she did not work in the most glamorous theater, her beauty and acting was unmatched by any actress from Hollywood, Broadway, or the West End. It was love at first sight. However, one time I took Henry and Basil to see her in a production of Romeo and Juliet, and she was absolutely terrible. All the beauty had left her.
Boo! Boo!
After the show, I went back to ask her what went wrong, but I think she might have taken it the wrong way because she killed herself a few days later. I didn't really care much.
Also, Doctor, I must tell you about this amazing book. It has truly changed my life. It has taught me to only care about pleasure, as that is all that really matters in life. My only problem is, I think I've run out of things to do. Sports, wine, cards, liquor, escorts, opium, I tried it all. And I've run out after 18 years. I need help, Doctor.
Well, Dorian, I don't think you should exactly be looking for more to do.
What do you mean, Doctor?
Well, from my observations, Dorian, it kind of looks like you're a drug addict and an alcoholic.
Nonsense, I can quit anytime.
It also appears that you have a complete lack of empathy, which I'm pretty sure is just called being a psychopath. And I really believe that you should admit yourself into a rehab program to take care of your drug and alcohol problems. And you really need to seek a psychiatrist for your mental issues too. My only question is how you've maintained this youthful appearance for 18 years.
Well, I did make a deal with the devil where my portrait would age, but not me. But that's a trivial detail. Excuse me, Doctor, but what's that drink you have there?
Oh, well, you're already eternally youthful. Well, this wouldn't interest you that much. I think it's time for you to go, Dorian.
I see. Goodbye, Doc.
And our last guest on the show is none other than the mighty heir to the House of Atreus, Prince Orestes.
Sas Efcharisto por mi.
Yes, this is an English-speaking channel, by the way.
Thank you for having me on the show.
Yes, thank you. It's been my pleasure. So tell me, Prince, I've heard some very troubling things about your home life. Would you care to expand on what's been happening in Mycenae?
Well, my childhood was unconventional to say the least. My family isn't exactly normal. Tantalus, my great-great-grandfather, was banished to the underworld forever. My grandfather Atreus was all sorts of messed up, and there's a very heavy dose of incest mixed in. And then when my uncle Menelaus' wife, Helen, was lured away, he decided that it would be a good idea to take the entirety of Greece to the war with Troy. I mean, I guess she was pretty, but not enough to take an entire country to war. Even that didn't go so great either. Before they even left, my dad Agamemnon had to sacrifice my sister to get the winds to die down, and when my mom, Clytemnestra, heard about this, she went absolutely crazy. She declared herself the ruler of Mycenae and started sleeping with this guy Aegisthus, who I'm also somehow related to. She didn't want anything to do with me either, so she sent me away too.
I am your ruler now!
Shut up!
Well, when the war was over and my dad came home, my mother was still absolutely livid, and she killed my father and cut him up into pieces in his bathtub, but she tricked him into angering the gods beforehand so she could get away with it.
This is so weird. Oh god.
When I snuck back to give an offering at my father's grave, I met my other sister. She and her friends convinced me that I had to kill my mother. My father's spirit had to be avenged.
Oh god, not again.
Orestes! Orestes, it's you! You must kill our mother! She killed our father!
But she's our own blood.
But she killed our father, and we must avenge him!
Fine, I'll do it. I tricked my mom into letting me in by telling her that I was some traveler, and that I had heard that her son was dead. She didn't even care or anything. When her lover showed up, I killed him, and then my mother too.
I'm slain.
But now I'm being tormented. Everywhere I go, these crazy bird women follow me, tormenting me for killing my mother, and I can't get rid of them. I'm going crazy.
Well, I never expected to have 2 murders on my show in the same day. Anyways, Orestes, I think you need some serious help. First of all, growing up without your mother or father has seriously put you off track. You were convinced so easily to kill your mother. You're a wanted criminal now anyways. Actually speaking of that, where have the police been this whole time? 2 murders and nothing has even happened? I mean, can you get away with anything over there in Mycenae?
Well, we are the royal family, so anything really goes.
Orestes, you also need some serious psychological help in my opinion. Seeing things like ugly flying bird women and them tormenting you when nobody else sees it, that sounds like schizophrenia to me, and I think you need to check yourself into a psychological hospital ASAP.
Wait, I had an idea. The Oracle. Apollo can save me.
Oh god, someone call the police. I'm not even gonna bother giving them the water. Unfortunately, we never got to see what happens when someone drinks from the fountain of youth. Yes, I know, I've already been through the grief of failure, and I'm sorry to say that this is the last episode we're gonna air. We weren't even given the end date until a week ago, and the network is unmoving. Well, this has been the Dr. Heidegger Show. I'm Dr. Heidegger. I hope you have a good evening.
What you say? That you only meant well, 'cause you did. What you say? That it's all for the best, 'cause it is. What you say?
I'll be taking this.
What you say? That you only meant well, of course you did. What you say? That it's all for the best, because it is. What you say?